Hi, I'm Cal Elrich, also known as Quick Cal, the Executive Director of the Cowboy Fast Draw Association. Please join me as your host for the 2022 Fastest Gun Alive World Championship of Cowboy Fast Draw. It was held in Fallon, Nevada at the fabulous Churchill County 3C Arena. The American Old West, also known as the Wild West, may have only lasted a few decades in the late 1800s, but it left an indelible spirit that lives on not only in America, but all over the world. In 1903, what was soon to be called Hollywood made its first actual movie complete with a script and scenes. That movie was The Great Train Robbery. It was inspired by an actual current event of the time, a train robbery carried out by Butch Cassidy's Hole-in-the-Wall gang that happened just 8 months prior to making this film. Western movies became a major part of the movie industry. Then the television era exploded during the 1950s. Soon, weekly TV Western series like Gunsmoke, Bonanza, and countless others captured the hearts of millions and spurred fast draw clubs, associations, and competitions to form all over America from coast to coast. As time goes on with any sport, innovations in competition equipment and techniques can evolve beyond a sport's original intent. In 2002, the Cowboy Fast Draw Association, also known as CFDA, was formed in Deadwood, South Dakota, with the intention to bring guns and holsters back to what actually existed in the Old West. CFDA also maintains tough standards of targets and distances in order to balance speed versus accuracy. It's not always the fastest who wins. It takes a trained gunfighter that keeps a cool head and a hot hand that will earn their path to victory on any given day. In 2008, CFDA's Fastest Gun Alive World Championship of Cowboy Fast Draw was moved from Deadwood, South Dakota to Fallon, Nevada. Fallon has been a great host city. The tournament was held in the Churchill County Fairgrounds, first in an outdoor rodeo arena, then later in a shaded park. This year, our signature event has been moved to an indoor venue, the fabulous 75,000 square foot Rafter 3C Arena. Competitors travel to this annual World Championship from all corners of the U.S., plus Canada and Europe, to compete for the trademarked title of the Fastest Gun Alive. Only men and women who have won this prestigious event earned the right to wear the black badge, which signifies the greatest achievement in the sport of cowboy fast draw. Members are met by fellow gunfighters who share a mutual bond of respect called the CFDA family. Only cowboy fast draw shooters can truly begin to understand how difficult their sport is. At its highest levels, it is among the most difficult of all shooting sports. Cowboy Fast Draw is fast-paced hip shooting with no time to use pistol sights. We rely on trained muscle memory and intense mental focus. Hip shots with the barrel of their gun off by just a mere eighth of an inch will miss the 17-inch round plate at the distance of 15 feet. Even though shooters practice a lot, just imagine the adrenaline flow that occurs while trying to hit a target faster than an opponent standing right next to you. Only then can you begin to imagine how tough this game really is. Only the best shooters hit over 50% of their shots at competitive speeds. We always start the day with the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer, and a shooter safety meeting. Safety is always our main concern. Our CFDA motto is safety first, fun second, and competition third. CFDA's Youth Division is where kids can begin the sport as early as age 8. We offer a youth safety training program while they develop their skills in Billy the Kid and Annie Oakley categories, with the goal of graduating into our junior boys and girls subcategories as soon as age 12. Some even go on to win overall men's and ladies CFDA title championships as junior shooters. Most of the shooters prepare for the day by dry firing and practicing every detail of their draw in a dry fire safety area. Since safety is always a primary concern, no one can ever point a gun in the direction of another person, or match disqualification will be applied. Match rounds are electronically drawn by CFDA's computerized scoring program by luck of the draw. Shooters check the posted lane assignment sheets to find out which of the 5 6-lane ranges their bout with their opponent is assigned to. They can see what lane they're on, who their opponent is, and what their current X count is. Shooters immediately go to their assigned range, where they form a posse to assist their fellow competitors through that round. About 1/3 of CFDA members have completed the CFDA Rangemaster course and join in on organizing, running the firing line, announcing, or any way else they can. With almost 300 shooters, there are about 140 bouts running simultaneously in men's, ladies, and youth divisions. We complete most of the earlier rounds in just about an hour. After completing a round, just a few minutes passes until the next round is drawn and posted, which sends the shooters off to their next round. There are 3 bouts running on each 6-lane range, under the direction of a CFDA-approved Rangemaster. Cowboy fast draw timing equipment is very accurate and digitally timed right down to the thousandths of a second. The timer operator announcer calls shooters to the line along with the next shooter that will serve as the hand judge to the shooter on the line. Hand judges assist the shooter on the line with loading, unloading, and also watch for rule infractions and premature draws. They also verify that each shot their shooter and opponent fires leaves bullet marks on the target plates, which are coated with white lithium grease. After the Rangemaster gives the command, "Line is ready," the timer operator announcer then gives the shooting commands. Shooters on the line, shooters set, and presses the start button simultaneously while pronouncing the word set. The timer illuminates start lights simultaneously on all 6 lanes on a random 2 to 5 second count. If the shooter hits their target, the start light goes off indicating a hit. If the shooter hits their target before their opponent hits theirs, then the start light comes back on blinking to indicate a winning hit. When a shooter achieves 3 winning hits, they win the round. The loser receives an X, and when a shooter receives 4 X's, they are eliminated from the tournament. The goal is to complete 7 rounds on Friday, the first day of the main match. The match will continue Saturday morning, with rounds moving through the day until the top 7 men, top 7 ladies, and top 7 youth are determined. Unfortunately, over half of the shooters will be eliminated on the first day. However, there is what's called a second chance match on Saturday for all of the eliminated shooters to enjoy. There are just so many competitive opportunities during Fastest Gun Alive Week for shooters of all levels. On Saturday afternoon, we honor and recognize our top junior boys and junior girls. We use the CFDA shoot-off format, which is a double progressive elimination format. They are seeded by placement and their overall finishes in the overall men's and ladies divisions. Our junior girls came down to Chaos Cast from Oregon against Little Miss Sunshine from Nevada, with Little Miss Sunshine winning her first ever Junior Girls World Championship. Speedy James from Florida won the Boys Junior World Championship in the final round against Ranger from Colorado. Next, we feature our top 5 shoot-off for our shootist men and ladies subcategories to recognize almost 10% of our shooters who choose to compete against all comers using extremely traditional equipment of a gun with a 7.5-inch barrel out of a Slim Jim holster. Ladies world record holder and former national champion KK Kid from Texas has been shooting the long gun for the past 2 seasons. She made it to the final round with Catskill Jean from Florida. Catskill Jean was consistent and on target and held off the faster KK Kid to win the Ladies Shootist World Championship. Our Men's Shootist Championship was won by Have to Be Fast from Florida, as he held off a very close contest in the finals with Montana, who's actually from Idaho. This year, we began a CFDA tradition called the Tournament of Champions. Only those who have won overall or resident championships in one of our 25 CFDA title championships across the country are invited to join this special event. It began on Thursday, and on Saturday we have the conclusion with the top 5 shoot-off for both men and ladies. the best competing against the best. In a rematch of the 2021 Men's World Championship final round, Tank from Idaho, who is a former World Junior Champion, and at the age of 17 in 2021, he won the overall Men's National Championship. He has faced off against defending 2021 Fastest Gun Alive World Champion Rodeo Romeo from Arizona. These fellas were shooting sub-35s in a very tight and exciting finals. This time, Tank prevailed to win the first men's Tournament of Champions. Our first ever Ladies Tournament of Champions was won by Dead-Eye Daisy from Michigan, who has been on a roll with multiple championships this season. She had a very close and competitive final round with Debbie Sue from Utah, who took second. It's Sunday morning, the final day of Fastest Gun Alive. After Cowboy Church, we began our annual Blast for Cash Bracket Championship. In this unique event, 5 divisional brackets are formed by a curve system as determined by each shooter's speed ability in the overall match. This format mixes all genders and ages with about 55 shooters in each bracket. Master Gunfighter bracket was won by Whitlock from California. Our Gunfighter bracket was won by KK Kid from Texas. The Marshal bracket was won by Debbie Sue from Utah. Sheriff bracket was won by No Name from Arizona. And the Deputy bracket was won by 6 Gun Shelbs, 9 years old, from Nevada. It's just after high noon on Sunday at Fastest Gun Alive. It's time for our Magnificent 7 World Championship Finals. After 3 days of shooting, we started with 271 competitors, and we've pared it down to our finalists. And our top 7 men, ladies, and youth divisions are ready to go for our CFDA shoot-off format. Our exciting shoot-off format is a 2X double progressive elimination format that has our shooters seeded from 1st through 7th by virtue of their performance in the preliminary rounds. The shooter with the least amount of X's is seeded first. Ties are broken by the fastest shot in the last 3 qualifying rounds. The shooter with the highest seed always has their choice of lanes in each bout. The 7th seed and 6th seeds will begin the shoot-off by shooting their first bout on lanes 1 and 2, which we call the winner's bracket. Whoever wins a 3 winning hit match in the winner's bracket then takes on the next highest seed available. Whoever loses a match in the winner's bracket then moves to lanes 3 and 4, which we call the 1X bracket. Each shooter in the 1X bracket will face each shooter as they are defeated in the winner's bracket. When a shooter loses a round in the 1X bracket, they have received 2 X's and are eliminated from the match and earned their final place in the final match standings. Our championship always comes down between the last gunfighter standing in the winner's bracket, who must only win 1 round, and the 1X bracket, who must win 2 rounds to win the title of the Fastest Gun Alive World Championship of Cowboy Fast Draw. And here's Foul Shot with the Sundowners Fast Draw Club from California to announce our Youth Magnificent 7 Finals.
We're calling up our 7th seed. It's Baby Beast. That's our 6th seed at none other than Nighthawk. Our 5th seed, BBN. Our 3rd seed, it's Hit. Our 3rd seed, 6 Gun Shell. Missile. And our 1st seed youth is Quick Freeze. All right, folks, how about a big hand for our Mag 7 youth right there?
Our 6th seed Nighthawk from the Sundowner Cowboy Fast Draw Club in Northern California takes on our 7th seed Baby Beast from the Deputies from Southern California. Baby Beast is on fire, hitting 4 shots in a row and taking the match with a final shot of a .778, which is just over 3/4 of a second. Next is Phoebe Ann from the Old Pueblo Gunfighters in Arizona to try her hand, but Baby Beast is still on a roll, hitting 5 shots in a row, with the last shot winning the 2-2 match with a 7.58. So that sends Phoebe Ann over to the 1X bracket to take on Nighthawk and brings up Hits from the Cowboys Cowboy Fast Draw Club in Oakdale, California. Hits is a fitting alias, as he hits 3 shots in a row, a little faster than Baby Beast with their final shots of a 706 beating the 776. Meanwhile, in the 1X bracket, Phoebe Ann picked up the pace, hitting her last 4 shots and putting Nighthawk in 7th place. Next up is 6 Gun Shelves from the Great Basin Gun Hawks of Nevada, fresh off of winning the Deputy bracket shoot to take on Hits. Hits was still hitting the target well and winning with the final shot of a 678. While in the 1X bracket, Baby Beast and Phoebe Ann took it to a 2-2 tie, with Baby Beast winning the last shot with a 732 against a 797, which put Phoebe Ann in 6th place finish. Now our number 2 seed, Miss M, also from the Great Basin Gun Hawks, challenge Hits. They take the match to a 2-2 tie, and Hits just edges out Miss M by less than 0.04 of a second to remain in the winner's bracket. Meanwhile, 6 Gun Shelves wins her match with Baby Beast. Baby Beast moved from 7th seed all the way up to 5th place. Our top seed, Quick Freeze, from the Eagle Rock Outlaws in Idaho, comes to face off against Hits, who moved all the way up from our 4th seed. Quick Freeze has recently won the youth divisions at the Great Northwest Regional, South Dakota State, and High Plains Territorial. Hit jumps out to a 2-0 lead. But what a close match, winning his second shot by only 1/1000th of a second. But Quick Freeze hits 5 shots in a row, winning 3 of them to win the match. Meanwhile, in a matchup between cousins, 6 Gun Shelves won her match with Miss M by less than 0.02 of a second, with Miss M placing 4th place. Quick Freeze hung out in what we call the catbird seat, waiting to see who would challenge for the title. 6 Gun Shelves and Hits shot in the 1X bracket. The shots were close, with Hits hanging on, with 6 Gun Shelves ending up in 3rd place. This brings it down to Quick Freeze and Hits, who are now on center stage for our championship rounds. Hits needs to win the first round to force a final round. They take it to a very close 2-2 tie, with Hits winning the last shot with a 604. So now they switch places on lanes 3 and 4 for the final championship round.
A 668 on 3. 637 on 3.
Quick Free wins the 2022 Youth World Championship by just 0.02 of a second. What an exciting finish.
Youth fastest man alive world champion is Quick Freeze.
Here's Curly Calhoun, our primetime announcer, with the Sawtooth Shootist from Boise, Idaho, to announce our ladies' finals.
Junior champion, it is Chaos Gas. Our 6th seed, it's Ricochet Rose. Our 5th seed out of Idaho, it's Lefty Lipscomb. Our 4th seed, Bandana Kid. Our 3rd seed, it's Lady Hawk. Our 2nd seed, it's Little Miss Sunshine. And our top seed, it's Dead-Eye Daisy.
Our 7th seed is Chaos Cass from Oregon, her first time in our ladies' Magnificent 7. But she has won multiple junior championships. She goes up against 6th seed Ricochet Rose from California, who's been in 3 Magnificent 7s, hoping this can be her year to finally win her first world championship. Ricochet Rose hits 3 out of 4 and wins her first match. But her work is cut out for her with this next bout, with 4-time national and former fastest gun alive world champion Lefty Lipscomb from Idaho coming to challenge the winner's bracket. They take a very close match to a 2-2 tie, with Lefty, who's known for her consistent half-second accuracy, takes the final shot and winning the match. This brings up 4th seed Bandana Kid from Arizona to challenge Lefty, who knows she has to pick up the pace a little to counter Bandana Kid's less than 1/2 second speed. Bandana Kid shoots 2 475s to open up up to a 2-0 lead. Lefty wins the next shot with a 482, but Bandana Kid wins the round, with the final shot just edging out Lefty by a mere 6,000ths of a second. Over in the 1X bracket, Ricochet Rose holds off Chaos Cass, with Chaos Cass placing 7th. Next up is our 3rd seed from Idaho, Lady Hawk, who is the only lady to make the Magnificent 7 finals, shooting our shootist subcategory, which means she's shooting her 7.5-inch long gun out of a very traditional Slim Jim holster. Even though Lady Hawk shoots her long gun under 1/2 of a second, Bandana Kid edges her out and holds on to the winner's bracket. Meanwhile, in the 1X bracket, Lefty Lipscomb defeats Ricochet Rose with a very close final shot, placing Ricochet Rose in 6th. This brings up Nevada's Little Miss Sunshine, this year's Junior Girl World Champion, who is our ladies' 2nd seed. But Bandana Kid is still on a run, winning the final shot of the round. While in the 1X bracket, Lefty Lipscomb keeps on winning, sending Lady Hawk to 5th place. Finally, our number 1 seed, Dead-Eyed Daisy from Michigan, comes to the firing line. She was the runner-up in the 2021 Fastest Gun Alive, and this year she has been on fire, winning 2 territorial and 1 state championships. It's close, but if she can win the Fastest Gun Alive, she will also win Top Gun of the Year honors. Dead-Eyed Daisy has also not lost 1 round during this entire tournament. She must face Bandana Kid, who's been dominating the winner's bracket so far. Dead-Eyed Daisy opens up with 2 winning hits in the low 4s, and Bandana Kid does a comeback, tying the match at 2-2, with Dead-Eyed Daisy claiming the win with a 446. Lefty Lipscomb won the match in the 1X bracket, with Little Miss Sunshine ending up in 4th place. This sets up a semi-final round between Bandana Kid and Lefty Lipscomb to see who goes on to challenge Dead-Eyed Daisy in the championship round. After tying 1-1, Bandana Kid hits 2 more winning shots in a row. She wins the semi-final round. Lefty Lipscomb takes 3rd place. Bandana Kid leads off with a 464 to win the first shot, but Dead-Eyed Daisy counters back to tie the match up with a 458. Both of our competitors are on target, but Dead-Eyed Daisy edges each with a winning hit. So Dead-Eyed Daisy wins her first ever Cowboy Fast Draw World Championship and the right to the trademark title, Fastest Gun Alive. We're now down to the men's World Championship Finals. And here's Curly Calhoun.
Our 6th seed, it's Whitlock. Our 5th seed, it's Crosswire. The 1st seed, the gunman out of California, who shoots with the deputy. Our 3rd seed, it's Buzzard Cooper from Idaho. Our 2nd seed, it's J.B. Wales. And our top seed, it's T-Botcha.
Powder Keg from Washington, our 2016 national champion, is our 7th seed and comes to the line to face Whitlock from the Deputies Cowboy Fast Draw Club from Southern California. Whitlock had an amazing run and seemed unbeatable earlier this year, winning the Arizona, Nevada, and California state championships, firing shots in the low 3s with amazing consistency. Whitlock starts off with a 331 and a 332 for a quick 2-0 lead. Then he misses 2 shots, leaving an opening for Powder Keg, who tied the match 2-2. Whitlock won the final shot with a 342. And I wasn't kidding you, folks. He shoots in about the 1/3 of a second range. Our 5th seed, Crosswired from Oregon, comes to the firing line. Crosswired began Cowboy Fast Draw as a youth shooter and has become one of the most consistent shooters on the CFDA Top Gun Tour, earning his way to numerous Top 7 finals, and came to national attention, winning runner-up in the national championship of 2020 in Amarillo, Texas. Crosswired hits 4 shots in a row, as Whitlock was trying to find that target again, so Crosswired wins the round. Our 4th seed, Gunhand, another shooter from the Deputies of Southern California, who's known as a very consistent shooter, is making his first ever top 7 final appearance. And he jumps out to a 1-0 lead against Crosswired. But Crosswired came back with 2 winning hits in the mid-4s to make it a 2-1 match. But then Gunhand wins 2 more shots in a row to send Crosswired to the 1X bracket. Meanwhile, Powder Keg gets even with Whitlock by winning the round. Whitlock finishes in 7th place. Next up is a legend in Cowboy Fast Draw, Buzzard Cooper from Star, Idaho, who is our 3rd seed. He won his first Fastest Gun Alive at age 69 in 2010. He's won Top Gun of the Year 4 times and numerous state and territorial championships. Now, at age 81, he is trying to win his 2nd black badge. The gun hand can't quite find the target this time, but Buzzard Cooper hits 3 out of 4 shots with his last shot at a .392, winning that match. In the 1X bracket, both Powder Keg and Crosswired hit 3 out of 4 shots, but Powder Keg is a bit faster and sends Crosswired to a 6th place finish. Coming up now is Joe B. Wales from Louisiana, who's had an amazing season winning multiple CFDA titles and has developed into a consistent 3-shooter in only his 2nd year in the sport of Cowboy Fast Draw. He has had such a huge lead in Top Gun points, and now due to his high finish here at Fastest Gun Alive, he already has locked up Top Gun of the Year honors. But on Cowboy Fast Draw's biggest stage, can he overtake legendary Buzzard Cooper? Buzzard does jump out to a 1-0 lead with a .376. But then Joe B. Wales takes it to 2-1 with amazing times of .364 and a .348. Buzzard comes back with a .391, but Joe B. Wales wins the round by only 5 thousandths of a second. Back over to lanes 3 and 4 in the 1X bracket. Powder Keg jumps out to a 2-0 lead with 2 shots in the high 3s, but suddenly loses the target with the gun hand coming back with 3 winning hits in a row to win the match, putting Powder Keg into 5th place. 2-Buck Chuck from Florida has been consistent throughout this entire tournament. He went undefeated in 13 rounds and became the only man to only get 1X in the last regular round, which earned him the number 1 seed. Joe B. Wales starts out with a .377 to 2-Buck Chuck's .403. They both hit 3 shots in a row, with Joe B. Wales hitting each shot in the mid-3s and 2-Buck Chuck's in the very low 4s. Meanwhile, Buzzard Cooper hit 3 out of 4 again to win the round, with Gunhand ending up in a very impressive 4th place finish. 2-Buck Chuck and Buzzard Cooper are facing off in the semifinal round. 2-Buck Chuck wins the round with 3 hits in a row, .402, .408, and a .392. What consistency! Buzzard Cooper's run ends in a 3rd place finish. What an amazing performance. In the men's final championship round, 2-Buck Chuck has not missed 1 shot in these magnificent 7 finals, and he hits 4 shots in a row in this final round. But Joe B. Wales is on fire, jumps to a 2-1 lead with faster hits on the last shot by just over 1/100th of a second. Joe B. Wales wins the Fastest Gun Alive World Championship of Cowboy Fast Draw. Thank you for joining me in our coverage of the 2022 Fastest Gun Alive. I would like to congratulate all of the winners that week. There were a lot of them, actually. We had so many events. And I would like to invite you all for our coverage of the 2023 Fastest Gun Alive, due to air on Outdoor Channel's Shooting USA in the spring of 2024. If you would like to learn more about our sport of Cowboy Fast Draw, please go to cowboyfastdraw.com and you can learn all about our sport and also find clubs that may be near you and how to get involved with this wonderful sport. Thank you.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like an addiction. You start shooting and it's like a drag race with guns.